Morning.
Good morning. Hello and welcome to the virtual towers of binary Arcadia, where the games go on long into the night. The time has finally come for us to play Death Stranding 1 whole week after release. Excellent. So we have the setup, which I'll show you in a moment. We're going to literally go on now, play maybe 2 hours, and then we'll do a little piece after this and just say what we think. You're right there, Tabz.
Gwen's more excited than I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, let's just have a quick look at the setup. So Tabz will be playing on his, 50, 60? So Tabz will be playing on his 55-inch OLED and PS4 Pro. And then I will be on my much more portable 26-inch 10-year-old telly and a standard PlayStation 4.
How do you feel about that, Rich?
Disappointed. I feel extremely disappointed.
But we're going to swap, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll probably swap like part way through. So
You get 15 minutes for every 4 hours that I get. No, we'll do it better.
sound. Right, let's get into it.
Woo!
Well, that was 2 hours 40 of Death. The first 2 hours 40 of Death. I'll start that again. So that is the first 2 hours 40 minutes played of Death Stranding. I would describe it as cutscene heavy. I'm not saying I dislike it. I'm not saying I like it at this point. I'm intrigued by it. The story seems Kojima convoluted as always. I enjoyed the bits of gameplay we actually played.
Sorry, I was just laughing at my cat. Just meowing in the background there. Yeah, I think I would say generally, the biggest two things are, one, we've seen, or the majority of all the cutscenes we've seen. We know this information, we've formed them. This is more contextually logical.
So what you mean by that is we've seen these pieces of cutscenes mashed together in all of the trailers we've seen.
Yeah. And we've made our own little route with them.
Yeah.
And we've made more or less sense of them. So at this point, it's become a bit laborious in the point it's trying to make.
Yeah.
But, just to be, my raw feeling in terms of gameplay, I really enjoyed it.
The gameplay was nice.
I'll just go and let my cat in, so she's... Come on then, lovey.
So yeah, the actual gameplay that we've seen, I think it could be really interesting, especially if it builds on that with all these other things, the chiral printer and that have been teased. So yeah, I would say mixed feelings so far. I want to get into it. I've come off of that and I feel like, I want to play another 4 hours and see what it's actually like.
You want to throw yourself into it.
Yeah.
It doesn't let you throw yourself into it because it's keeping your arm's length in the way it's designed, the way it's built. So I suppose it's somewhat restrictive, you could say. And
it's obviously a complicated story that's a completely new idea. So it needs to try and fill some gaps in, catch you up to speed almost with what's going on in the world,
Yeah, it's built for the player who's brand new to it. So in that sense, we're already halfway down the rabbit hole. So we're just, it's all passing us by.
Yeah, it's not like an Uncharted 2, where you literally, what's happening, you're straight into the gameplay of it. Whereas this is a bit more. But yeah, we'll see how it builds over the next hours over the weekend.
I think you could definitely say, though, the reviews that suggested it was slow-paced. It is slow-paced, isn't it?
Certainly those 2 hours 40 or whatever it was were slow-paced, yeah. Even the gameplay elements were slower paced, but there was one bit near the start which has a bit more, adrenaline to it, I would say, where it's, moving it, that was better.
It's specifically engaging, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
much more than your average game that requires very little. This one demands a lot more of you in terms of your intention, your concentration, and that in itself provides much more a realistic sense of emotion. Like
Yeah.
if you're actually doing the things you're seeing in the game
Mhm.
in real life, you would actually be feeling a similar sort of.
Yeah.
Whereas in games normally it's very easy to just
Yeah, oh,
push
yeah.
the control
Yeah,
stick
yeah.
forwards
That's
and
it.
a million things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That normally you wouldn't be able to do. So I think that's interesting. But yeah, plenty more to play and see ahead.
Definitely. So we left our reactions after 2 hours at a place of, I would say, not negativity, not positivity, just a bit of a flat line.
I think part of that was circumstantial because we were tired. It was Friday. You'd had a long drive.
Yeah, definitely.
Playing long into the night.
But actually, fast forward. So that was Friday night. We're now Sunday morning, and actually, sort of different feelings on it now, I guess.
It's been a roller coaster. I think, for both of us.
Yeah.
I think more so for me initially. You really enjoyed it early doors.
Yes.
I enjoyed it early doors, then had a dip, then had an up, and then I had a bit of a tussle with the menus.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I think again was circumstantial because I was tired, we've had a long weekend. But I do kind of feel the menus are at times overly complicated, unnecessarily noisy.
Yeah.
And that becomes fatiguing when combined with the cumulative effect of everything else.
Yeah.
Because the gameplay is burdensome, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not.
I think that's just it. So after 2 hours of playing it, we probably only spent 20 minutes actually playing it. The rest were cutscenes, and there were cutscenes that pretty much, for the most part, we've already seen from all the trailers and that. So I guess it was a bit, and we've spent a lot of time looking over them and analysing them. So we're quite in depth on what's going on with those. Yeah. So I think we're up to the point now, a day later or day and a half later, where we're going to be pushing into areas that we haven't seen, which will create much more interest and excitement about the story. But yeah, I mean, the world, it just is very burdensome. You feel the weight of the world. The gameplay is like that. And when you make a delivery, there is that sense of achievement of, I've just done that,
Yeah, the upside of that is it makes everything that much more satisfying.
Yeah.
And as you say, the sense of achievement that much more important.
Yes.
Or contrasting because of how difficult the challenge was. But the downside of that is that I suppose, we were talking before, it's not a Breath of the Wild type game where it's just so much fun. It's just very easy, accessible.
Yeah, it's not just a romp, is it?
Yeah, and you can play for hours straight with that, and really the sense of fatigue is not really there.
Yeah.
With this, because there is a significant pushback on the player.
Yeah.
It's not so easy to play in long stints. It's grueling. It is grueling.
I mean, the pushback on the player matches the world, though. Apart from the menu systems aside, which like we've are probably unnecessarily complicated, but it feels like it matches the world. The two go hand in hand. That
I mean, one point that I will make, I feel like, because we've obviously seen each other's missions side by side, there's been quite a bit of variance in the missions.
Yeah.
One in particular, if you remember, you had to pick up an item in a mule camp.
Yes.
No mules at all.
No mules at all. But for you, loads.
About 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And it became, and that's when it can really escalate, and the weight of the world, as we said, gets intense when you've got either mules, BTs, a river that goes pear-shaped.
Yeah, that's found with my motorbike. So there was a point yesterday where I had to turn it off and just have a break from it. I was trying to do the mission that you have to go probably the furthest distance you've had to go in the game. So you go from where you start on the game to Port Knot City. And it just so happens they give you a motorbike not too long before that. So I'd spent a bit of time messing around with this motorbike, doing a few little short trips, and I'd managed to lose the motorbike down the river, and then it said it was destroyed, basically. And then I had this burdensome knowledge that I was going to have to travel this massive distance on foot, and it just spiraled out of control. BTs everywhere,
BTs,
and
it seemed unavoidable.
Yeah, and ended up with the cargo being so damaged that like a single hit would destroy the cargo, and then you get a game over screen.
We had to get our head around how, when you're against a BT, if you don't have the blood grenades, you can actually source them. And there's a way.
So you can basically ask for help asynchronously, and people who have already done that, I guess, their characters come up and throw you some hematic grenades or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had to put it down. And it was actually you that said, "Come on, mate, get on and
Picked you up,
we'll do it."
down,
so
forced you on to
and actually the sense of achievement of doing that, I think it was like 1 o'clock this morning, of actually doing that, I was just, it was amazing. What an amazing feeling.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because he's made this game, he wants us to share in the journey, the adventure.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually, we shared that mission a bit. I started it off.
Yeah,
I then handed it over to you. And it was like I was shouldering some of the burden of that trek.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was kind of nice, a nice way to play it. And leading into, you had a very much solo experience up until then, but our other friends who are here joining us for the weekend, I've been playing my game like together with them. And I have to say, I would say it's probably been easier for me because you can take it in smaller quantities when you're sharing that load. You can kind of decompress from your last mission, take a breather, enjoy watching it, because without a doubt, it's a spectacle to watch. And it's just been nice to do it in that sense. And I think perhaps this is a game that almost demands to be played like that, in smaller quantities, with plenty of breathing room.
Certainly where we are at the start of the game, I think that lots of the reviews have said that the start of the game, the first, say, 10, 12 hours of the game are a real slog, and you feel like, this is never ending. But actually, when some more quality of life things start coming through, you get more tech, you get more equipment, you get these other things, I guess, that help you out. It feels better, and I think that the weight of the world sort of, it starts to swing more in your favour.
Come off you a bit, and you've got a bit more empowerment. And
I think at that point you might be more like, okay, I'll push on a bit here. I'll do, I think there is a bit of that going on, I think. So,
but that illustrates the point, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With the reviews, perhaps that's why we saw a lot of polarisation, because, well, if you're doing a review, you have a deadline, and you're having to push through and mainline it quick time, and that is going to become very fatiguing. Whereas if you let this game, just let it breathe, come back to it when you feel ready to, just take your time with it, I think it's probably going to be a much better experience.
It's very much feels like a journey, and the journey, it's not one that you can burden yourself with in long periods, I don't feel. Certainly at this point we are in the game anyway.
Because of how it's grounded by realistic
exactly that
aspects.
Yeah.
You've got to,
take your time. And I think maybe that's what Kojima wanted. He wanted people to take their time with this game, So, it is really interesting. But overall, I really like the game. There's bits that frustrate me with it, like there are with lots of games. It currently it's not the most fun game I've ever played, but there's lots of enjoyable aspects of it, I would say. Like we've said, it's not going on to Breath of the Wild and having a romp around in the world.
But there's an addictiveness to delivering and a satisfaction at the end of it that feels worthwhile. I mean, I'm definitely excited to play it again.
And
we're very excited to see where the story goes, because we feel now we're getting into unknown territory, as we've said.
Definitely. So at this point forwards, I don't think there's probably only one clip of a cutscene that Kojima showed that we haven't seen, I would say. And all of the story beats that we've seen so far have all been like interspersed in the trailers we've seen. So I think at this point we're going to start seeing the story blossom as well, which I think will really help grow the game. So
and just the word on the asynchronous aspects. I've not been able to really play it very communally. I suppose at this point, I've had to be quite selfish just because of how challenging it can be. I am looking forward to getting to a point where I can perhaps give back a bit.
Leave ladders and stuff. And the other note on that is it doesn't appear you can select who you are playing asynchronously with, which is so. For instance, we're playing on the same Wi-Fi network here, and yet we're not connected asynchronously. So I've not seen any of your ladders or ropes or any of that, and likewise you've not seen any of mine in the world.
Which is a shame. It'd be nice if you could.
You could say, I want to play with my friends on this, asynchronous. So maybe there is a way of doing that we see further on in the game. I don't know.
Let us know.
If you do know how to do that, then let us know, because it would be great to have some of you Barcadians see some of your Barcadians ladders, but also so we could actually play together and see each other's progress and
Rich
stuff.
needs a new reverse strike, so if you want.
Yes, because mine is destroyed. So please leave me one in the world. Thank you.
So what do you reckon? And this closing impressions?
I think so.
We've got a workout film for you this weekend, and also the organic review coming down the line. That's kind of where we're at with the DS content.
Definitely.
If you want to see anything else in particular, just give us a shout. Of course, please give us a like if you enjoyed this video, and if you like watching what Rich and I do more generally, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. And I think that's probably about it. Another one for the archives.
Stamped and completed. Well, that's it from us for today. If you give it... Oh, it's good. I enjoy it. Well, that's it from us for today. If you did like the video, give us a like. And if you did enjoy the content, then if you subscribe and click that bell, you'll get all our notifications of the new content we'll drop in. More content coming from... For fuck's sake, Tabz. What are you doing?